What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the BS Show. It's Brett and Steven here. Tonight is the free fight card UFC Denver featuring Yair Rodriguez and the Korean Zombie. And the co-main event is Donald Cerrone against, it's Mike Perry, right? I always want to call him Michael Perry. But anyways, so great fight card. Me and Steven were just talking about it.
I'm actually surprised Donald Cerrone and Mike Perry aren't the main event. You know?
I agree. But I completely agree. Why that is, we don't know. One fight did fall off. Joseph Benavidez and Ray Borg fell off.
Which sucks. I was looking forward to that. You think that has anything to do with the flyweight division being... I don't know if you guys heard that news yet, but apparently Dana White, or just say the UFC, is thinking about cutting the flyweight division, which we'll make a whole nother video breaking down that because there's a lot to talk about on that. But yeah, this fight card for a free fight card on TV, it's actually pretty stacked.
Yeah.
Even though some fights even fell off, you know.
Well, and I don't know if any of the viewers watching are big tough supporters like we are, the Ultimate Fighter. We watch it, so you will recognize a lot of these fighters fighting tonight were guys who competed on the Ultimate Fighter,
like Violent Bob Ross.
One of which is Luis Pena, who broke his foot. He had a really dominant victory, broke his foot, and he actually trains with DC at AKA because DC was his coach on the Ultimate Fighter. And the guy he's fighting, I believe, fought. He won it. I believe he won the Ultimate Fighter. Or he either won it or competed in the championship, one of the two. But anyways, there's a bunch of guys on this fight card that competed in the Ultimate Fighter. So, they're young, up-and-comers.
Let's go ahead and just do our fight picks for the top three.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So the first fight we'll pick for is Raquel Pennington and Jermaine
Durandamy.
Yeah. I can't pronounce these people's names, man. My tongue doesn't work like that.
The UFC has a bunch of people with crazy last names.
Jeez, like Israel Adesanya. I just can't say it.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
So let me break down this one real quick. Raquel Pennington, ever since the Ultimate Fighter, she's been really like building her stock and doing good. And even I think her last fight was actually against Amanda Nunes.
I think you're right.
For the belt. She might have got hurt in that. She took a lot of damage, fought with a broken nose, and it was a little controversial because her coach told her don't quit because she wanted to stop. Her nose was broken. She was just getting whooped, you know what I mean? So that was a little controversial that her coach was like, no, continue fighting. That was her last fight. And if you don't know who Durandamy is because she's not huge in the UFC, she actually won the belt at one point in Cyborg's division. Of course, Cyborg came back, and then she just gave it up because she just really didn't want to fight Cyborg.
Which, you can't really blame her.
Yeah, and I actually thought Holly Holmes won that championship fight versus Durandamy. Do you remember that fight at all?
I do remember that. That was a very close fight.
But Durandamy is a beast. She's much bigger, too, so I actually see her winning. I do, too. I think she was a kickboxer before, wasn't she?
I'm not sure. I'm going off the fact that she beat Holly Holm. You know, these women fighters, I feel like, are very unpredictable because they do really well in some circumstances and not in others. But if she beat Holly Holm went toe-to-toe with Cyborg. You know, Holly Holm beat Ronda Rousey. Holly Holm's beat...
She's tough,
She's very tough. So for her to beat Holly Holm, regardless if it was a questionable one or not, I'm going to have to go with
And she beat her in striking, and Holly Holm's an elite striker. So.
For sure. I'm going with Jermaine
Durandamy. Can you say it for me?
Jermaine Durandamy.
All right, in the next fight, the co-main event, which is what I think should be the main event. It's going to be a great fight. It's Donald Cerrone versus Mike Perry. And if you don't know the background, they both actually trained at the same gym. Mike Perry came in, and apparently they started feeding to Mike Perry and like tending to him and like kind of brushing Donald Cerrone off. And Donald Cerrone found that disrespectful, and then there's this whole controversy. Donald Cerrone started talking smack on the gym, Michael Winklejohn's gym.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight. There's a little back and forth, a little rivalry here, so there's some bad blood, and that always makes fights interesting.
Well, and after the weigh-in, I believe I was looking up stuff on Instagram, and Mike Perry was saying, fuck Donald Cerrone. He was wearing, remember when Conor McGregor wore that suit that said, like, fuck you? He was wearing it, and someone even said, hey, is that shirt for Donald Cerrone? He's like, fuck Donald Cerrone. So there's some animosity Donald
did you
Cerrone.
see the video he made too? Dressed up as the Indian, and then Donald Cerrone as the cowboy on wanted list. He's like, I'm coming after you, cowboy. I'm gonna collect this bounty. He was dressed up as an Indian. Yeah, that's really funny.
Actually like both guys, which I'm not gonna lie. Donald Cerrone's my favorite fighter. He's the one who actually got me into watching it because he would just be fighting all the time.
Yeah, Yeah, it's not about a paycheck. He loves doing
Absolutely.
it. He loves the thrill and adventure. If you follow the sport or Donald Cerrone, you see he's always skydiving or surfing or, you know what I mean, scuba diving where he almost died in that. He's an adrenaline junkie, so it's cool, you know?
I think this fight is actually pretty hard to predict because Mike Perry swears up and down Donald Cerrone won't stand and bang with him, but anyone that knows Donald Cerrone, that's what he does. He stands and bangs.
That's the thing. You know what I mean?
But when Donald Cerrone gets caught, it's because he's standing and banging, and Mike Perry's, you know, kind of a heavy-handed dude.
He's good in the pocket, which that's what scares me because I feel like Donald Cerrone's way better striker than Mike Perry if he keeps his distance and fights at a distance. But like you said, he kind of has a hot head. Maybe not a hot head, but he'll go in there and fight your fight.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Which his takedown's good too. He's all around. Could be a better fighter, but it just is if he fights Mike Perry's fight. You know what I mean? It could be all bad for him if he tries to fight Mike Perry's fight and get in the pocket and make it scrappy.
The fights that I've seen Donald Cerrone lose is whenever he lets the other guy pressure him and he's on his heels. You know, he's lost to, out of his last 8 fights, 3 or 4 of his losses have come to he didn't keep his distance and they just charged at him and they beat him. And Donald Cerrone has to dictate the distance. He has to dictate the where the fight takes place.
We haven't seen Donald Cerrone in a while too, so it's interesting seeing maybe he's sharpened up some things.
Yeah, well, and he's got that chip on his shoulder because his camp picked him. So, you know, I think that this is kind of a pick-em fight either way because Donald Cerrone is getting a little older.
It's a fun one too. There's a huge story behind it. Like you said, he is older. Mike Perry's young.
I'm gonna pick Donald Cerrone just for the simple fact of I think that he's coming back for this. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He you know, his gym took sides with the new guy.
Yeah.
Donald Cerrone was out at Jackson Wink for 12 years, fought for multiple championships. If he wins tonight, he has the most wins in the UFC history. And for a gym to take the other guy, I think that really deep down lit his fire. So I'm going to pick Donald Cerrone.
I agree. I feel like Donald Cerrone actually has like a set goal. Usually goes in there because he likes fighting, but he actually... He has a meaning to be in there besides just money. You know what I mean? He wants to kick this guy's ass and prove
it's personal.
Something.
And his old coach is going to be cornering Mike Perry, so it's going to be a double win. Not only if he wins, he can beat Mike Perry, but he's also giving a jab to his coach.
Okay, we're spending a little time on this topic, but there is also the element where Donald Cerrone doesn't really fight good unless you're kind of friendly with each other.
Yeah.
When there's real animosity... He kind of folds, you know?
He does. Nate Diaz whipped him, you know, because they had that animosity. And Donald Cerrone will be the first one to tell you, I don't fight good when I'm mad. He'll tell you that. He's not afraid to tell you that. But it's very interesting. But I think we're both 2 for 2 now, got the same fighter. So
yeah, I'll go with Donald Cerrone also because, like I said, I think he's just a better, well-rounded fighter.
Me too.
Better wrestling, better ground game, which I think Mike Perry even admitted to that when they trained together.
Yeah.
Like his ground game is better than mine.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't... Donald Cerrone's been known to take shots too, so Mike Perry could land one and drop him, but I think I'm going to go with Donald Cerrone.
Or land one of those body shots to his weak liver or something. Cool, so main event.
Just go with the Korean Zombie.
Versus Yair Rodriguez. This one's kind of fun because the Korean Zombie, he actually has wicked jiu-jitsu. He's the first guy to pull off a twister in the UFC.
He's disappeared for a while, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
I feel like he's been gone.
I don't know
he's
where
a killer.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, or
Me
maybe
neither.
he just hasn't
I don't
fought
know
for
the
a
story
while.
behind that. But Yair Rodriguez has also been gone for
remember
not as long.
UFC cut him and then re-signed him because he wouldn't fight Zabit.
Yeah. And he even found a way to sneak out of that fight again.
Yep. I think Yair Rodriguez is very talented. I mean, he beat BJ Penn to death, but BJ Penn's like 900 years old. But Yair Rodriguez reminds me a lot of Donald Cerrone. If you give him his space and he can throw his kicks and he can keep his distance from you, he'll pick you apart. But the Korean Zombie's pretty aggressive, so I don't know how that's going to go. I've seen more of Rodriguez than I have the Korean Zombie, and the fights that I have seen Rodriguez fight, he's looked really, really good. I mean,
he's a fun fighter to watch because he's flashy.
He's very flashy. Yeah. He throws kicks and all kinds of
spinning kicks. Yeah. There was a joke I remember in one of his fights where it's like count the spins or like this fight's making me dizzy because he just kept spinning, throwing spinning kicks. And
I mean, this one to me too. That's what I like about this fight card is a lot of them are a coin flip because I could see a reason for each one of them. You know, the Korean Zombie's so aggressive and he's got wicked ground game and he's pretty explosive, but yet I could see Yair Rodriguez landing a head kick or leg kicking him to death or so. I'm going to pick Rodriguez because I think he's got more tools in his arsenal. But that's a very like a 51 to 49% pick, you know.
Yeah.
It's a tough pick. It really is.
So, man, I'm not really comfortable making a solid pick. I wanted to pick Yair, but just to make it different so we don't pick everything the same. I'll go with the Korean Zombie. I don't, who knows, right?
You don't?
That's why you love UFC.
Yeah.
That's why you love mixed martial arts, because you could see it going a bunch of different ways and weigh in their strengths and faults. But I've been surprised more than I've been right. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Korean Zombie on that one. I'm just excited for this whole card. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and this fight card's got a lot of young dudes who are trying to make their name in the UFC, and that's what I like about the free fight cards is most of the time the fights are like bloodbaths. They're brawling it out because they're wanting to make a name, they're wanting to get on a pay-per-view, so they leave it all out there in the mat. They're not afraid.
It's always fun, yeah.
So thank you for tuning in, guys. Let us know with your fight picks below. Great fight card tonight. We'll probably be uploading some more videos tonight, so be sure you tune in.
A little different than what we usually do. We got a couple of goofy little videos to do. Some hot foods maybe. You're going to eat a ghost pepper finally?
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, guys.
See you later.
Peace.